Brent and Kara are over here. Also, we should go say hi. Maybe for a minute, then you can see how big the kids are. Now, I know that Dawn's had them lately, so I don't know if they're going to be home. But I can try calling her real quick. Would you like to see the grandkids?
That's okay.
You don't want to see your great-grandkids?
Yeah, that's okay. I never see them. I never see them anyways. And it's like, geez.
Oh, but they're getting bigger and they're really cute.
That's all right. No, thank you. I'll need to be nice. No, that's okay. We were closer, yeah. But
We are closer.
no, I mean, you know, as a family.
Oh,
Well, we just don't never see each other.
no, none of us ever see each other. And we're all pretty okay with that. But they're literally going to be across the street, Mom. It's her fault, Kara. I know I'm driving, but we're doing some stuff.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
We're doing
We have a lot of places that we have to be right now.
Yes, you want to go these places. You want to see these things. You want to get pictures of them.
Yep.
And
So
that's what our day was meant to do.
the kids probably aren't even going to be there. Maybe they're at Dawn's anyway, which is, an hour away. So
You know, when you go visit somebody, it's never just for a minute. So we have
me, I'm in and out.
That's right. Well, we just won't stop saying this.
I got stuff to do.
Yes.
All right.
We want to go all these places. I do too. We can visit another time.
She doesn't want to go see her great-grandkids or her grandchildren.
Not right now, no. I never see them any other time of the year. It's been 2 years. That's fine.
That's
Brett
okay.
never made it over, never picked up the fish tank. It's still sitting there in my bedroom. You know, he was going to have him come over and pick up that fish tank and stand. And get it out of there. Never showed.
He probably forgot.
Probably did.
But see, if we go over and ask Kara, then we can put it in the back of my car and I can bring it back. Give it to her. She's like, I don't care that much.
You wasn't planning on these stops, Terry.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh,
Kristen
goodness.
moved way up north, away from everybody.
I know. Smart girl, huh?
I love her to death. Just can't see her. Cody or
Colton.
Hubby. Yeah,
Colton,
I
not
know it's
Cody.
Colton. This is Waverly. I recognize the bridge.
Ah, you know where you're at now.
I didn't until we hit this street, part of the street. There's only one street that looks like this. Yes. With the cemeteries on the
river
side. Yeah.
that goes through, and they jet ski and all kinds of stuff on there.
$2.15, good gravy. It was $1.75 yesterday. I got some, and that was a Shell gas station at Walmart's.
Yeah, I just paid $1.82 up by you when I filled up before I picked you up.
Yeah, they went $2.15. Good gravy. Yes, the old house on Holmes Road. 3341.
There it is. It's blue now.
Oh.
So this little house that has the carport addition on
Yes.
was another house I used to live in before the carport addition was on there.
You
And
know
it used
what?
to be brown.
I'm the one that got the permit for that carport, and they don't have a. See the old house on Duvaney? Right there. Starts with a D. And Lindsay, with you and Kirsten and the girls out in the country.
Oh, that was Stockbridge, and no, we're not going all the way out there.
Okay, 'cause
I'll stop there another day. No, that's way out there.
yeah, that was.
No, but first we're going to stop by Terry Ramirez's place, because I lived there.
Okay.
That's when I slept walk, when I walked in my sleep.
Yep.
And then we'll go to Fox Run.
Okay. Those apartment buildings.
And then we'll head over to East Lansing, to the apartment that I lived in there for a while at MSU. And then we'll head back into downtown Lansing.
Okay.
And then North Lansing.
We're gonna see all these places.
And then we'll probably still have time to drive up to Mount Pleasant. That's probably a couple hours north and then a couple hours back.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll still, I mean, probably still get back by maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, that fills our day.
That would definitely be a full day.
Yeah, see? We don't have time to visit. We just got time to visit houses, old homes. Yep. Really bad times.
Yeah.
I was hanging on to my sanity.
I understand. I've been
He
there.
was trying to drive me in the ward. Trying to lock me out. Throw away the key. Anything to get rid of me. I said, listen, I'm just going to divorce you. You have to go through all that. You would have got more money if you just locked me in. Oh, that's too bad.
Now we gotta see if we can find it. I think it's this way. And I remember sleepwalking. Right. And it was like up here on the right, kind of on the corner. And I remember there were people, when I sleptwalk, I remember the people across the street, they were all hanging outside talking and stuff. And they knew, the one lady knew that I was sleepwalking. They're like, no, look at her eyes. They're all dilated. And she's like, don't touch her, don't touch her.
You would glossy eyed. You used to do that a lot.
It wasn't that one. I think it might have been this little yellow one right here, maybe? Or that one. I think it was that one.
Okay.
Because it was a single wide. It wasn't a double wide.
Yeah, it was a single wide.
And the other people were like on this porch.
Different folks live here now.
And I remember that little deck.
Oh, you didn't take a picture of it.
I know, I gotta turn around. I'm pretty sure that right there. Because again, when I sleptwalk,
it's got a double door.
and when I sleptwalk, the car was like on the side of the road here. And this deck is where people were.
Okay.
And they knew that I came from this way.
And that's got the double door. Yeah. Out of there, honey.
I understand that.
I'm sorry. I had to get out of there.
But that's why I was distraught. So between Kirsten, the horses, the woods, the creek, track, all three of my teams, you know, the coach relying on me for all of that, me excelling beyond anybody's belief that I could do
felt
that.
Bad enough. Then you want me to feel bad now?
No, I'm not. I don't want you to feel bad. But I did write something about when I went hiking and running with the girls this last weekend. It's on Facebook, and I know saw it, so she may say something. And that's why I'm telling you. And I'll read it off to you.
No, she would just gossip about it.
Yeah, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
She wouldn't say anything.
It's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna read it to you. as I started getting to know all these people from this meetup and realizing how many of them were from the Bible Belt, and I clearly am not. And trust me, I've had people dying laughing at just the image of this, of me going in with a group like
I'm
that.
sure. I'm sure it was hilarious. Yes.
But I'll tell you what, every single one of them were so nice.
You were an eye opener. You know, I saw this.
Well,
listen, this
right,
is going
right.
on in the world, folks.
Right.
So
The world is a little bit bigger than just where you're at. But anyway, awesome people. But as I got to know each of them, and I started like connecting with different things that they were saying or writing or whatever, I just,
168. Now that's better.
This, the writing bug got to me again, and so I wrote this really pretty cool poem that I think was kind of for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'll read that one to you in a second too.
I really did. I knew they were in Hope, but I thought, but to
Yeah.
find them, Jerry, I wouldn't be able to find them.
I know. So
It's called South Square now.
it's called South Square now. At the time, it was called Fox Run Apartments.
Yeah.
And
They lived
this is
downstairs,
where I
they lived
lost my
upstairs.
brand new bicycle.
Yes.
You remember that brand new blue 10-speed that I had? I think we
Yes.
lived in this building right here.
Yeah, because if we look out in the backyard.
Yeah,
and
we could look out right
there's
over
a real
the.
nice young man that you got along with. You'd be out
Yeah,
there
yeah,
yakking with
and I
him all
can't
the
remember
time.
his name, but man, we got along great. He was awesome.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And then Karen and her husband lived downstairs.
Karen and Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when Chris was growing in his basement when they moved.
Yep.
And Susie used to grow in her window in Mulligan.
I know. And
You're
I
like,
think,
oh, that's such a pretty
that
fern.
is such a pretty, you guys are growing such beautiful. I didn't know what kind of plants they were. I just knew they were beautiful. But the smell is a little different, though.
It smells flowery.
Yeah, but I kept getting all these headaches.
I did not stop at the schools in Grand Ledge. Damn it! I wanted to stop at the schools. Okay, well, we'll grab Holt while we're here. I'll have to grab Grand Ledge another time. But at least this will be one more place I won't have to go.
You didn't take a picture of your old apartment building. You forgot.
I think I have it on video.
You were sounds like fun. That would be interesting. That would. Yeah. Spend a day riding around looking at all these places and see how they've changed over the years. My stars.
Well, and then also that 1 year that we lived there, we had that big ice storm that winter, and this whole town was shut down. There was no cars on the roads. I put on my ice skates and I ice skated all around this entire area because there was nobody on the roads. Everything was quiet and nobody was outside. It was just, all you could hear was the ice crackling from the trees and chunks of ice falling off and hitting other frozen ice-covered things.
You were a gutsy girl, but I trusted you.
Well, I was used to just doing my own thing, Mom. I don't think you had a choice, to be honest. But this is
Honey,
this is now the junior high school. Okay, this used to be Holt High School. It's now the junior high.
You pushed for your own identity, and I allowed it. It's
Right.
like, there's some things I would put my foot down about.
And
Yeah, you had to grow. That's how you learn. I did when I was growing up.
and then in the summertime, being distraught from my taken away from my track.
Right.
I would sit over by that tan building up against it,
Rams.
and the football players would exercise out over here, and I just sat there for something to do. And then when I was able to get into the track, which is right behind that building, you can see the bleachers back there, then I would get on that track and run around. But that's what I really wanted to do, but I couldn't do it because then I'd be busted jumping the fence while the football coach was there. So I just kind of sat there, and that was what I did is I just walked down here and I would just sit there And then there were people there, and I thought, well, you know, if somebody comes up and talks to me, you know, then cool, but I'm just going to sit here and just veg and have my alone time. And that's how the cross-country girls found me. And because they were running by on this road, heading the other direction, and they're like, hey, what do you do? And I said, well, you know, I used to run track. They're like, well, you ever run cross-country? And I'm like, no. And I said, you know, I told them I lived in the country, but I never ran cross country. Oh, come join with us. So I was like, okay. So the first practice I had was the first meet of the year. And we were meeting out at Grand Woods Park in Grand Ledge because it was, that's just where the meet was at. So the coach showed me, he said, you know, just run along at your pace, you know, no, you're not being timed because, you know, you're technically not on the team yet, so just, you know, do whatever. Anthony, oh my goodness, I haven't heard from him in years. I've known Anthony for like 25 years, and him and I haven't really talked for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. We just, you know, our lives gone in different directions. I'll have to get a hold of him. But back to my story now that I've got my shit together. What was I talking about?
You were out to Grand Ledge getting ready.
Okay, so we were at Grand Woods Park, and so we all took off, and I started running with, he told me to run with these couple of girls. Apparently they were the slower girls in the group. So I'm jogging along with them, but I'm really not, like, I'm wanting to go. I'm wanting to go. And so finally the girls are like, do you still have energy after all this? I'm like, well, yeah. And they're like, okay, well, go catch up with the girls ahead of us. Okay, fine. So I took off to go catch up with the girls that were ahead. We're going to head to East Lansing now, so I'm just going to keep going straight.
Okay.
And so I caught up to them. And there's Chuck. So I caught up to them, and then they basically said the same thing. They're like, well, just, you know, run at your own pace. And of course, we're doing a couple laps around this thing. And so I stopped, and I talked to the coach, and he's like, okay, you see those girls up there? He's like, go run and go catch up to them. So being in track and being a sprinter, I just took off, caught up to them, slowed down, started keeping pace with them, chatting away. They're huffing and puffing. And they're like, if you have all this energy, the finish is right there. Just go up that hill and down and right over there, and that's it. And I'm like, okay. So I took off, and I love going uphill. So I took off, and I ran up the hill, and this other girl and I, we ran down the hill, and I passed her, but because I wasn't technically in the race,
right,
the people at the finish line stopped me before I crossed so that she could cross and get her time in. And then that way I wasn't in her way. I don't know what difference it would have made, to be honest with you. But at this point, I'd been stopped 4, 5, 6 times anyway, and just jogging along.
That's a bummer.
But that's how I made the cross country team. It was my first practice, was my first meet, and I kicked ass at that too. So I got into cross country.
I know, I deprived you of a lot of things.
I know, you were dealing with a bunch of shit.
Oh, God. Threats to my kids, you know, he denies it all now, but he can lie his way out of it all he wants to.
Do you know about the pool?
What about the pool?
He tried to drown me twice.
Oh, lovely.
That's why I was never in it.
Well, he was going to take a gun. You know, he was practicing in the basement even.
I know.
Next is on the girls. No, you're not taking my girl. So he went to Flint. I wasn't even going to get pushed out of the truck that night. No way. I stayed home. Called up Judy and Doug because I'd kept her informed what was going on. I said, I got to get the girls out now. He told me the girls are going to go. She goes, no, we'll be there. We'll get you one. And I had to scrape and everything to try and put money together. And still, to this day, I remember leaving $800 wrapped in foils in the freezer down in the basement. And he wouldn't let me back in the house to get anything.
I thought you had said that he had gone to guards that weekend, because I was across the street babysitting the kids.
He went to the Flint meet, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then I had to have Kirsten come down and watch the kids because you said, we're leaving right now. And that's when I looked across, out the window, and I saw the big U-Haul at the house. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, she means right now.
Right.
Not like in and out, like now. And
This moment, yeah.
And Pam was not happy about me calling and having Kirsten come down there.
Right.
So I did, because she didn't know Kirsten at all. And I had her daughter and then her twin boys, and one of the twin boys was mentally and physically retarded. And, they trusted me, and awesome people. I love all of them. They were great. But I didn't trust Tanya because I knew that she drank and smoked, and I didn't think that she was a very responsible person. Whereas Kirsten, I trusted her. So that's why I called Kirsten, even though she was farther away.
Yeah.
Many years later, probably 10 or 20 years later, I did stop back over to that house. Pam and Bob were still there. I was able to talk to Pam. I apologized to her. I explained to her what happened. She explained to me how upset that they were, and why I didn't call them and wait for them to get home. I said, no, you don't understand. My mom said now. She meant now. She didn't mean in 10 minutes or a half hour or an hour. She meant we're leaving right now, whether you got somebody or not. And I just had to get somebody in there who I trusted. And I told her why I didn't trust Tanya. And, that's what happened. And then, she informed me of, decisions that they ended up, making with the kids, and, how everything ended up turning out. And so that was really nice.
Good.
But I felt better about going back and explaining to her what had happened, because no parent wants to come home and see some stranger in their house with their child.
If I'd been you, I'd have wanted to do the same thing. Get a hold of them when I could and explain. Yes, bless your heart. That was nice of you.
Luckily, they still lived there at the time, because it was a long time later.
But it would have rode on your mind a lot, if you hadn't had that.
Oh, but yeah, because I felt horrible. For years and years, I felt guilty about this, because it was beyond my control. I couldn't do anything about it. I'm like, oh.
No.
But,
I know. It was a sad time.
Now, I knew that, I remember you saying that he was shooting the handgun off in the basement. And actually, the guy I bought my house from used to shoot guns in the basement, too.
But schizophrenic, it's how the doctors explain it. And I said, well, that explains some of this behavior here, And when it gets worse, it says, get out. Well, it got worse. I had to get everybody out. And that's why, when they're like that, they can't even remember. So that's why he honestly denies certain things, because he don't remember. Well, I do. And there were a few instances the girls, Terry and Helen, were over, and they had seen, they remembered, and they said, oh God.
He would flip out.
He did.
He would flip out. I don't know if it was schizo, but he would flip out, and I would think it would be more PTSD with him.
Well, I figured a lot of it was...
which, nobody really knew what PTSD was back at that time.
Insanity from Vietnam.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. People didn't know what PTSD was back at that time.
Right, they called it schizophrenia.
Right, but obviously it wasn't. Again, just bad situations. Everybody's life was turned upside down.
The whole world was. It's like it came to an end. So, I know. It upset everybody. It did. Michelle and Jeannie even made it over to help us about. We don't blame you, Mom. Yeah, it was. Awful.
And Michelle had been out of the house for 4 years at that time. 3 years at that time.
Couple years, yeah, because she had moved.
Because I was 14, so she would have been 18, and she would have been married by that time.
Yeah.
Or almost married.
I think they were married at that time. Yeah, they were married because...
Married at 17, then she turned 18, and So, yeah, she was married for almost a year at that point.
Yeah.
When we left, because we left in, May, and I didn't have the last month to finish out my track in Grand Ledge. or say goodbye to my friends, or get, yeah.
I had to get someplace where he couldn't find me, and then he still did. Couldn't believe
I
it.
wonder if the buffalo or bison are gonna be out.
I don't know.
That way, behind the houses.
They got buffalo down here?
They have bison. Yeah, there's a park over there.
Oh.
Or they used to. And they had
Beautiful,
eagle
big, ugly things. Gorgeous beasts.
in this fenced-in area right here.
Oh.
You see the little things on? Yeah.
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 Oh my.
They used to. Again, I don't know if they still do.
Oh, may not even.
It's a nature center of sorts, though.
There's a building back
Yeah, it's
there,
a-
an
yeah.
abandoned